last year?
Yeah, great question. Last year, I thought our young ladies competed at a high level. I think this year, this team does the same thing, but we're better defensively. We're more disruptive. And because we're more disruptive, it allows us to probably push the ball in transition faster and play a little faster. So that's going to be fun for fans to come see. I think it's a high energy group that we have, and they're doing a lot of really good things. As you mentioned, it's 6 days out from now, so we're at the point where we're not quite into game prep yet for Central Connecticut State and Vermont. But we kick off our season with two teams that are on the top of their respective conferences. I think Central Connecticut State's picked second in theirs, and Vermont went to the WNIT semifinals. And so two teams that are picked to do really well at the mid-major level. So I think we'll see some different styles, but really good competition.
When you say more disruptive defensively, is that because they're better at it, or because of the new depth and new faces on the team?
Yes. We're better than we were last year. We're also deeper, and we have more athleticism. And so that combination, and I think we're stronger right now too. It takes time to build some of those things, and all of those combined help us be, I think, quicker to make things happen on the defensive end.
What do you need out of your junior class this year? I mean, they played a massive number of games and have a lot of experience. What is the expectation for that group? Because it's kind of the core of your team.
Right. Well, those young ladies really need to, I think, set the tone for us on both ends of the court, but certainly on the defensive end. They really need to be great voices for us, great leaders, and they're learning how to do that in a new way, if you will. I think last year it was harder to do that because they didn't really understand what we were looking for either at all times, and now they have a better understanding of the system, plus they have a better understanding of what it takes overall, and so we need them to be very good leaders for us too.
You guys were, I think, a tournament team when Mara got hurt last year, up 8, and would have had 14 wins at that point. Things changed, obviously, when she got hurt. She tried to come back, was never, I don't think, 100%.
Right.
You have more depth. This is a very experienced team, but she's kind of the head of things.
Right.
In that role, I guess both as a leader and as a player, what's the next step for her?
Well, she's continuing to grow her game really on both ends of the court. I thought when we lost Mara last year, a lot of people looked at, well, here's a young lady who was, I think she was second in the Big Ten in scoring at that point in time in the season. And so we lost a key scorer for us, and that really affected our offense, and it certainly did. But it really affected us on the defensive end a great, great deal as well. And so I think for her, on both ends of the court, understanding how she can kind of impose her will. I think in the past she's been someone who, especially like on the offensive end, has been someone who makes shots, makes good decisions for us, takes care of the ball, does a lot of really good things offensively. But there comes a point in time in each game, typically, or in certain games, when you have to really impose your will against the other team and make things happen. And I think now she's learning what that looks like and how to really do that, and is developing the skill set to be that type of player for us.
Is part of that skill set just being stronger?
I think it is, and something that she's
Getting
really
to the rim.
Right, getting to the rim or posting up or making something happen, getting a loose ball in traffic or one of those type of things. And she definitely is stronger and is making more of those type of plays for us.
You done?
Go ahead.
What were your objectives with the non-conference schedule just in totality?
Well, for us, obviously, in any non-conference schedule, you want to see different styles of play. You want to play really good teams. The major change from last year's schedule to this year is that we didn't feel like we had enough opportunities either on the road or in neutral action. And so last year we didn't play in a tournament. It felt like it's kind of hard when you get to the Big Ten tournament, and that's the first tournament you've played in all year long. So for back-to-back games, it actually has tested my scheduling a little bit, because we looked at the October-November calendar, and when we looked at it, we had to change it so that after a game, we actually were practicing playing the next day or practicing the next day to simulate getting ready for that tournament action. Because really, with the NCAA gives us 30 days to practice in a 42-day window span before our first game. And so really, you're looking at, after you compete in some way, shape, or form, have a scrimmage, one of those type of things, you usually take the next day off. But then you have to be prepared to do well be prepared physically and mentally to understand what it looks like to play in a tournament. So we changed up our November calendar a little bit to be ready for that too. So all of that, the planning part of it is really important for us. I think we're going to see some teams with really good size. I think we're going to see some teams with some great speed. We're going to see some teams that really shoot the ball well. And so that combination, I think, is going to be really important for us.
Have you always preferred scrimmages to exhibitions?
I have. I've personally preferred scrimmages because I think that you can play in a way that if you wanted to play an extra quarter, I've done it in a lot of different ways. Sometimes play an extra quarter, sometimes play special situations at the end of playing a game-like situation. Sometimes, hey, we want to work on half court against this type of look. Hey, can you press us because we want to work on this against somebody else? So I've liked that because I think it provides a good opportunity to do some things that you don't necessarily get to do in an exhibition. Now, the downside of that is the first time we will actually go through the whole game day routine in terms of starting lineups, national anthem, all those type of things will be on our first game. So I guess that's the disadvantage to it, if there is one. It's the first time you're wearing a real uniform rather than a practice jersey. So it is a little bit different in that regard. The lights seem brighter, even though we've practiced with the game lights on. They seem different. But that's really, I think, why I prefer playing in scrimmages versus exhibitions. We'll take that and practice that on game one and have a chance to do something else in the scrimmages.
What have you seen from Tori McKinney since school started?
Tori is someone who can impact the game in a lot of different ways. She's someone who really gets to the rim. She can shoot it really well. She plays fast. And she is fast, so teaching her how to play slower is really going to help her. Defensively, I think a lot of people know how good she is defensively in terms of making plays on the ball, making plays off the ball, rebounding and pushing it. So I think she's someone that as the games wear on, learning how to play slower is going to be something that's really going to help her.
With Annika, is she kind of backing up Sophie, and then she's clearly different.
Right.
Skill set, right? So will that kind of affect how you guys play when those two are kind of switching?
I think it does. And yes, that's right now how we've been using the two of them. And it does change. It changes us a little bit, but it also allows us to, I think, continue to have a post kid with some size, both offensively and defensively, but those two post kids are very different types of post players. So that presents, I think, a little different way for us or opportunities for us. Maybe now when we pull, we can post up our guards for different segments of time, those type of things.
What is Taylor's fit with this? What do you expect? What's her role going to be, at least at the outset?
Yeah, we're still trying to work through some of those type of things with Taylor, but at the same time, I think Taylor is someone who, like Tori, with her size and athleticism, and granted they're very different types of players, but they both can make so many plays happen. That Taylor is someone who, on the defensive end, in the times that we've scrimmaged, whether it's against ourselves, whether it's against our practice guys or someone else, she physically has the ability to make some plays that we haven't had anyone be able to do those type of things. She can jump out and defend either a ball screen, or she can get around in front of the post, or understanding for her how to do the little things well within our system so that everyone else kind of knows what she's doing too, and it's predictable that way, is going to take a little bit of time. Offensively, she's someone who we believe can fill a couple of different spots for us. I think she's someone who plays on the perimeter. She's someone who, when she's on the perimeter, can also get to the rim. She's someone who can post up. She's someone who, if we play small, could maybe be a post type of player for us, in a smaller lineup if we want to be a little more versatile that way, and yet she can still defend inside. So she gives us a lot of flexibility and a lot of versatility.
I don't know how many Power 5 schools can say they have all 5 starters back from the year before. I mean, that's pretty rare.
Right.
So the instinct would be to say, well, not much is going to change, but I mean, your roster after that is quite different.
It's very different.
I mean, it looks like just from the depth that you have that there's going to be a lot of minutes that you have to give to the reserves this year.
Well, and that allows our starters last year, when things weren't, we didn't have a chance to give them as many breaks as they really needed to have as well. And so it puts us in a position now, and we've seen this in our opportunities to get out and play against each other or play against someone else, they can give it everything that they have. They can give full effort, and then when that is done and their tank is empty, then we can put somebody else in for them, and then they can give us a different look, whether that means we are whatever we are at that point in time. We're smaller but faster, we're bigger, and whatever it is, we can adapt at that point in time, but we can continue to put pressure on the other team. Putting pressure on can look a lot of different ways. It can look like putting pressure on by attacking the rim in a different way, putting pressure on by picking up in full court in a different way. So it makes it kind of fun for us at this point in time, really.
Is Alexia your backup to Maya right now?
She is, yeah. Yeah, she's done a great job. Alexia is someone who has really good speed. She's really good at attacking the rim, and she is a great passer. Someone who is getting really comfortable. This is for her, the size that she's going against is a little bit different when she gets around the rim, and so figuring that out. But she is someone who provides us a new type of look. I think she's able to get up and pressure the ball and make things happen, and allows us again to play fast.
We talked about a little bit about this at the fair, just about what it's like to be in a market watching a team like the Lynx,
Right.
that kind of was a greater than a sum of its parts type of team, a very
Absolutely.
very connected team, especially on the defensive end. I know that a number of players went to a number of games. Do you look at? I mean, you've shown some film of their defense to this team. I mean, is there any impact at all having a team like that in this market?
Oh, I think there's a huge impact in having a team like the Lynx in this market, especially the way that they played and the energy that they played with and the unselfishness that they played with. And so their style of play and their chemistry, their camaraderie, the way they rallied this community around women's basketball, we're hoping to capitalize on that, in all honesty. That would be really important for us to continue this growth of women's basketball in this community. That would be really big for us. I think it's been great. We talk a lot about skill development within our program. And when you look at skill development, you talk about skill development, yes, there are techniques of the game, becoming a better ball handler, becoming a better shooter, becoming better at scoring at the rim. There are techniques. And then there's the decision making that goes into when you have to do what in the game. And that is what we can drill that and we can practice that. But then your basketball IQ also comes along with that, and understanding what teams like to do or what counters are to different ways they play against you. And so the more our young ladies watched the Lynx this year, I really believed it's helped our basketball IQ continue to grow. As I hear what they're saying about how the Lynx played, I just kind of smile and I think, okay, well, good observation. That's really well done. We can use that knowledge base to help us become a better defensive team or to share the ball like they did or those type of things. So I thought it was great. It was really fun to watch.
Is Kennedy back?
Kennedy is close. She's not totally cleared yet, but she's gotten into controlled drills for us. Each week she's kind of getting into a little bit more. So the goal was to get her back by the start of season, by November 4th. And, we're pretty close to that right now. I don't know that she'll be a full go on that day, but pretty soon. Looks good. Wonderful. Thank you.
That was a pretty fun run to watch.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
From last year to this year?
It's a huge difference. It's just been fun to be able to have these guys come in here and just connect with the team like they have. Our freshmen are definitely going to give us good minutes too, and they're learning every day. So it's been fun to see their progress too, but it's definitely going to be nice. Hopefully get a few more subs here and there, but it should be fun.
Do you accept subs? You don't strike me as someone who thinks she needs a break very often.
No, I don't take it very well, but it definitely is going to pay off in the long run, for sure.
How hard was it? I mean, you did it a little bit in high school when you were hurt, but how hard was it after you got hurt last year to really have to sit and watch?
It was hard, for sure. I mean, that one of anything was definitely most severe of an injury I've had. Obviously, having to get surgery and everything, it was definitely hard to be able to, have to just sit there and watch it all pan out. But I think that our team really grew from it. I've just seen it a lot in the confidence of some of the other players, and Amaya especially, just knowing what she can do and seeing what she can do on her own and just building that confidence within her. She played really well down the stretch at the end, just getting comfortable and not having to rely on me so much. And I know now it's definitely paid off in the way that we've played together, and it's fun to be able to have that connection back. But I think it just showed a lot to our team and what they can accomplish, even if I'm not on the floor. And it also grew that confidence in me too, and knowing that, if I sub out, that I have full confidence in whoever's on the floor.
This is kind of interesting. So you were pretty much full go. You were able to practice all summer, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have to go to Ulaanbaatar and play 3-on-3. So you were able to kind of just focus on what you wanted to get better at. What were those things?
Just getting stronger, honestly, just making sure my foot was 100%. I definitely took that time to get right physically, but, also mentally and getting that confidence back. It's been kind of a long summer in that way of just getting that confidence back and, feeling like myself again. I mean, like I was saying in another interview, like I haven't fully played a game since January around that time. So getting that confidence back and, like I said, it's been the ups and downs, but everyone's just kept that confidence in me, so it's helped.
Coach was saying that there comes a time in every game where somebody has to just assert themselves, and you're kind of the focal point of that. I know that you want to get to the rim more and get to the free throw line more, but other than strength, were there any skills that you worked on in particular?
A lot of just change of pace, change of direction, using multiple moves, that kind of stuff. Just feeling confident, getting in there and slowing down. It's not really my play style. I like to go fast, and so just slowing down and reading the defense, I think that's really going to help me in my efficiency also.
What was it like? I mean, this team returns all 5 starters from last year, so in a way there's incredible continuity, but there are also a lot of new faces. You've played on a lot of teams in the past. You've played in this conference. When you joined this team, what were your impressions of the group that you joined?
Yeah, it was fun. They just kind of welcomed us with open arms, and I think this summer we did a lot of things off the court that really built our team chemistry, and I think we're a new team, and I think that's a good thing, and we've really grown our relationships with each other.
As that group of juniors, you're kind of the core of the group. This is your 3rd year now. You've had a lot of experience. What do you expect from that group in particular, you, Amaya, and Mallory in particular?
Well, we've talked a lot this summer just about us kind of being those performance leaders, and there's different types of leaders that we have within this team. We've done a lot of work with Jeff Jansen this summer, but just knowing that, the team definitely does look to us, and with our 2nd year of being under Coach P and knowing what she asks, that's kind of on us to help these guys out. So just understanding what she wants and then being able to, set an example and hold ourselves to that standard and hold ourselves just to be accountable in that sense. So just being consistent, I think that's kind of what Coach wants from us, consistency and just the way we communicate and the way we hold ourselves on the floor.
You guys were probably a tournament team at the point where you got hurt. You've talked about getting this team back to the tournament since you got here. Is this the best chance you think that you have?
I think so. I think we're all hungry. We're all ready, healthy, knock on wood, and just feeling stronger and better, really connected. So we're excited. We're ready to go for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Annika, Coach talks a lot about being a part of a program that's won at the level that they're at. When she's talking about whether it's this team or other teams, you obviously come from a program that had big expectations and, frankly, could have won the Big Ten tournament a year ago. So what do you take from that team and that experience that maybe you can provide for this group?
Yeah, I just learned a lot. I think mainly from Jazz Shelley's leadership, the way we were a player-led team, and I can take that experience and kind of bring it here. And it's cool to just, use my experience and bring it onto a different team. I think people look to me as a leader being my age. But it's just cool to bring a new perspective.
What do you feel like your role will be? Obviously the leadership's a part of it, but just on the court, where you hope to fit in with this group?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to do whatever they need me to do. I definitely am a stretch 5 player, so I like to stretch the floor, and I hope I can bring that. But ultimately, my defense, I think I've spent a lot of time guarding a really good post in the past, so I hope I can bring that in the future.
Big Ten's always been a great conference. I think it just got a little harder with the addition of the new players. What's either one of you, your kind of take on what it's going to take to succeed in this Big Ten? Because I think it got a lot more athletic with the addition of like USC and UCLA and even Oregon.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, we talk about toughness and togetherness every day. Also finding a way. Now it's on our walls in our practice facility, so that's something we see every day. So just bringing that and knowing that, you know, to beat these tough teams, we're going to have to be the tougher team, and we're going to have to be the team that has the better chemistry and that, you know, are able to produce that day in, day out. I mean, it's going to be tough every night. So just coming out and bringing that.